Let's learn how to do an applied I-cord edge. Let me show you how to knit an applied I-cord edge. This works great for blankets or on the edge of garments, on pillows, so it's not as hard as it seems. It does work best with double pointed needles. I am using 5.5 millimeter double pointed needles. I have 2 of them. And so what we're going to do to begin is I am going to make a slip knot, and then we are going to cast on. You can do 3 or 4. I'm going to do 4 for this demo though. So I'm going to do a 4-stitch I-cord. So here's my 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it works best if you don't join in the edge. You want to work in a little bit because it's easier to graft close. And so to begin, you can see I'm going to insert my needle right here, which is at the top of a stitch, right there. So that's where I'm going to be working across for each stitch. So the next one is right there, and then the next one is right here. So with wrong side facing up, I'm going to insert my needle into the top of that stitch, and I'm going to pick up a stitch. So pick up a stitch. So now I have 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to slide my double pointed needle down, grabbing my other double pointed needle. I'm now going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. And then working through the back loop, I'm going to knit these 2 together. So you can see I'm working through the back loop and knitting 2 together. And that makes it so I have 4 back on my needle again, which is what I need. So you drop that needle, go into the next stitch right here, right there, pick up a stitch, push the double pointed needle down to the other edge, and then grab your other needle, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then working through the back loop, knit these 2 together. Oops. Like that. Into the next stitch right here, pick up 1, and then you can see when I'm getting ready to knit on this side, my yarn is coming from the left, and usually it comes from the right, and that is what curls the I-cord and makes it into a cord, because it's pulling the stitches around and making it into a rope-like edge, which is really cool. All right, so let me finish this last one and then show you how it looks. So it's starting to take shape here. You can see what it looks like. So I'm going to continue all the way around, and then actually I'll continue until I reach a corner, and then I'll show you how to do the corner and then the start of the side. So we'll meet back up on the corner. So you can see I have 2 stitches left until I reach my corner, and so I just wanted to show you how to do the corner so you can confidently do that. So this is just working the stitch before the corner, just working it normal, and then through the back loop, just doing 2 together. Okay, so now here I am at the corner stitch, and you're just going to work it the same way as you have been working it, but you're going to go back into it 3 times total so you can make that turn. Okay, so this is my first time. First stitch, going back into the same stitch. So right here, going back into that same stitch. Working 3 knit stitches and then knit 2 together through the back loop. That's my second, and this is my third, all into the same stitch. One, two, three, knit 2 together through the back loop. Perfect. Now I'm to the edge portion of this, and we're going to do 1 stitch for every 2 rows of garter stitch, and then 2 stitches for every 3 of the bubble section or the stockinette stitch section. So you can see we have 1 row right here, another row right here. So I'm going to pick up this stitch right there. Perfect. And so I'm just going to work this all the way around until I reach the beginning portion, and I'll show you how to do grafting it closed at the end. You can see I've made it to the start of my I-cord. So now I need to cut. I left about a foot, which is probably way too much yarn, but now I'm going to thread my tapestry needle. And you can see that the yarn is coming from the left, like it does with I-cords. So we need to get it over to the right so that we can graft this closed. So I just went through the stitch right here, and now my yarn is on the right, how I want it to be. And now going through the first stitch that is on the needle, you're going to go up through it purlwise, and you can take it off that needle. And then finding the corresponding stitch on this side, you can see we have 1 row, 2, 3, and 4. So our first stitch is right here. So I'm going to go through both legs of the stitch like this. And then going back into that first stitch that we took off the needle, we're going to insert our needle and go through. So that just mimicked the V like the knit stitches do. So you can see that's our first grafted stitch. So we're going to repeat again, going through this stitch right here, purlwise. I can take it off my needle. Going into the next stitch right here under both legs. And then going back through that first stitch that we worked right here through the center of it. We've made another grafted stitch. So we're looking good. Again, go purlwise through that next stitch, and then to these stitches, go under both legs. And when you are pulling your yarn right here, make sure you don't do it too tight, but you don't want it too loose either. You want it to mimic the stitches around it. So it takes some practicing on getting that tension right. And now my last one, and going through the 2 legs on this side. And then back down the center. So there we go, grafted that closed. You can see what it looks like. And with I-cord edging, the best part is that to weave in all these ends, you just have to put it through the center of the I-cords. because it hides the tails. So you can just go right through the center, clip it. I'm planning on doing that with all of my ends here. So let me just show you how to do it on this end. So I'm going to thread my tapestry needle, insert into the center of the I-cord like that, pull it through, and snip it. Perfect, huh? So that is how you do the applied I-cord edge to get this beautiful I-cord edge.